Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video I want to talk to you about making gold. I know there are 1,000 get-rich-quick make gold videos out there, but this one is going to be a little different. At least that's what I hope. With the changes that have happened, with the aptitude crates affecting rare crafting materials and just how rare they in fact are not anymore, and the decline of most of the trophy material costs, I have been getting reports from a lot of viewers that they are struggling more and more in terms of answering the question, how do I make gold? Well, there definitely is still a ton of gold to be made. It is just a bit different of a playing field now. I will begin by saying yes, things like orichalcum ore, star metal ore, and weirdwood, and other stuff like that, will still make you a ton of gold. The issue is everyone knows this, and everyone is farming it. So it is often camped, and when you start looking at how much gold you're making versus the time you spent trying to farm it, you will quickly see how discouraging and demotivating this can be. Well, luckily, there is a better way. It is not flashy, and it is not exciting, but I will show you the real numbers, and you will maybe see my methods and see there is a lot of gold out there, just waiting for you to claim it. First, I will list some things specific to my server, but could very well apply to your server, as I have logged into many other high-pop servers and the markets are very similar. And there is no level requirement really to these. You could just as easily monopolize on this at level 15 as you could at level 60. Okay, enough talk. Let me show you the things I did over the past couple days so I would have examples. First, hides. These can be farmed anywhere. People have gotten into the habit of thinking Cutlass Keys demon dogs are the only way, but this is not true. This area here in Cutlass Keys, in my opinion, will generate far more hides for you, roughly 9 to 12k per hour depending on if you want to use proficiency potions or not. And this place in Weaver's Fen is also amazing, generating slightly less but still roughly 6 to 9k per hour. Now I know, nothing revolutionary here, but the difference is do not sell the rawhide. I can't stress this enough. After you have farmed a significant amount of rawhide, head over to the Great Cleave. Specifically this area here above Cleave's Point, or even better this place, Cleave's Malice on the border of Brightwood, and start killing. You will get massive amounts of thick hide in these locations, and I know people will immediately think, why not go to Restless Shore, to Boar's Home specifically? Well, everyone thinks this, which is why you will be competing with 20 people in a frustrating slow battle for a few thick hide here and there. I have yet to come across anyone contesting these spots on a high-pop server. And I have even said in chat to the people who are asking where to farm thick hide to try here. But for some strange reason, there's rarely anyone here. Which is even more surprising because at Malice, there are many demon dogs just like everyone's favorite place in Cutlass Keys, except these ones give thick hide. Now, once you have farmed your fill of thick hide, head back to town and unload. After this, head to Eden Grove and farm boars. This place can be contested, but not really. There are a lot of them. You can even farm the stripe boars, because unlike in the past, all you are after is ironhide. Rares don't really matter anymore. If, however, it is too contested, then head here in Ebonscale Reach. This whole area is boars and is never contested. A piece of advice I could give here is have a town where you own a home dedicated to tanning. That's what I do. It makes managing space for rawhides much easier. Okay, so here is my yielded results for roughly 4 hours farming, which I know is excessive, but I wanted a good sample size for you guys. Now you see why I always tell people never to sell low-tier raw materials. The compound gains you receive in the process of refining almost triples, and in some cases more than triples, the value of your time you have invested. So that's 2,234 infused leather completed for my time I had spent. It generally sells on my market for 5 gold, sometimes 5.5. But because I am flipping and want returns fast, I post at 4.5. It will sell in no more than a half an hour. So it earned me 10,053 gold for my 4 hours invested, which I know is not so impressive. However, I still have a ton of thick and ironhide left. Meaning, my next farm, I can skip those and spend all of my time farming the rawhide, which will compound my earnings. So the next day, I wanted to look for some things anyone could do. No skill required like tanning, skinning, or anything like that. So I checked my market and made some interesting discoveries and headed out. So first to Weaver's Fen, and I began by picking reeds. I did this for the bulrush cobs. In this area, you can collect a ridiculous amount in a very short period of time. It is a no-brainer thing to collect, and it is safe, and you won't have competition because there simply is too many. It just never ends and they respawn at a ridiculous rate. So I gathered these for an hour as a test run. My results were, as you can see, 3,585 cobs. And the reason I did this was because at the moment on my server, the price has been driven up to 0.45 per cob. Now I know this will drop as it always does, but it happens slowly because it takes time for our friendly bots to adjust. So I tossed these up for 0.43 and boom, they sold. After market taxes and all that, this was an easy 1,398 gold for my hours spent. You can easily do it for a couple of hours and do a sale. And if you noticed, there were buyouts for mass amounts at 0.30. So in some cases, if I really wanted gold, I would pick until I had filled them all. The next item on my list, also in Weaver's Fen, is Bumble Blossom, which is just everywhere. You can't take 5 steps in Weaver's Fen without another node. So I set out picking that for an hour once again to test. I ended up grabbing 1,868 this time around, which I could easily have gotten more, but I got distracted a couple of times by other things, but I did not want to start over with my test run, so it is what it is. So at the market, I see there are many buy orders at 0.50, which is the same roughly as the current cheap prices, so I sell to fill and post what's left. Not as impressive this time, but 934 gold per hour for something so common is not bad. And for my final test, in terms of market easy gathers, is blueberries. So for this, I headed to the ruins. There are so many blueberries here, it is great. So I gathered here again for 1 hour to test. So after 1 hour, I ended up with 2,981 blueberries. Not as many as I thought I would get, but not horrible. These are crazy high at the moment because people grinding aptitude cooking crates for the rare herbs and salt, but also because people using rations to level. Now I want to sell them fast before the price declines, so I post them at 0.55 per, a solid amount cheaper than the cheapest other one. So for my hour, I made 1,639 gold. And yes, they sold almost immediately. My guess would be someone thinking they could flip them for more. Now, as a final thing, I always do my cooldowns every single day. Never sell your cooldowns to another player. You are giving away gold. I make almost 10k gold a day, passively simply by doing every one of my cooldowns each day before I log out, posting my mats on the market before I go to bed. The next morning, it is all sold. So as you see, although this video doesn't contain anything revolutionary that will make you 100k gold per minute, the point I was trying to make was, if you check your market regularly and watch how prices are trending, and then head out and farm the things people commonly need that are on an upwards trend, you can very easily produce thousands of gold per day. I know it is boring, but what do you expect? When was grinding gold in an MMO fun? If it was fun, everyone would be gold capped. And if you think this is common sense and a waste of your time to watch, then this video is not for you. I get hundreds of comments saying it is impossible to make gold now with the rares being so common, and how can I make gold if there's nothing to sell? So my purpose in making this was to help those people. So if you have any other great gold making tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments to help these struggling people. As a final note, with the new aptitude system, you also, as a bonus for your time grinding away to make gold, end up with these crates for your effort, which is always nice and can really help for traveling costs, extra passive gold, and making your daily cooldowns trivial. Okay guys, well that's about all I can tell you about making gold. It is not nearly as difficult as people think. The problem is we always get mired in the idea of selling some sexy 35k trophy mat, but realistically, you could make 200k gold doing this kind of stuff in the time you'll waste trying to hit that one crazy trophy mat. That's just the reality of farming for super rare high profile stuff. The money is in the bottom tier mats because no one wants to farm them and they're very common and easy to get. I hope this video has been in some way helpful to those of you out there who have been asking me how I make gold with all of the changes to the crafting system and the crash in value of rare materials. I'm not going to make a video on theory where you can craft a ton of stuff and post it on the market and it will take 6 months to sell, then claim because I only truly invested 30 seconds to click craft that I'm making 45k per minute or some other ridiculous claim. I really just wanted to provide people with practical and real fast gold making ideas, but mainly the methodology as to how you can incorporate your own server's economy and then use it in this application. I also have a few other videos I'm working on as requested, a solo expertise farm video, character leveling tricks and tips, and so on. So stay tuned for those if you requested them. And as always guys, I appreciate every single one of you and all the support you have shown me. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.